As it stands, I am in quite the dead when it comes to videos, so there's gonna be quite a few made today within a short period of time. Hope you don't mind. Now, let's start with the one I was planning on doing yesterday but forgot. Well, actually, I was planning on doing two yesterday, and now I'm doing them today. So, beginning with real wages and prices. See, when you just hear a wage, let's say $10 an hour, that does not really matter as much as affordability. To prove it, let me ask you something. Would you accept being paid $100 an hour, assuming you're currently getting paid $10 an hour, if prices were 10 times as much? Probably not, because it's net zero, really. If you make 10 times more, but are paying 10 times more, then it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And so, the real wage, or what your money is actually able to buy, is most important. And the best way to increase that affordability, to increase your real wage, is to reduce prices. If you want to think of it like this, imagine the value here and time here. If prices go down over time, so the value of goods that you're actually paying, but a wage stagnates, then your real wage will go up. If both go up, both your wage and the real wage, while prices go down, well, real wages are going to feel it more because they are being boosted by the other two. And so fundamentally, the real wage is most beneficial. And importantly, is reduced much more easily through reducing prices. Now, there are a number of ways to achieve this. One is to reduce the money supply. Less money, needless to say, you pay less because, well, there's less to take. If you think of it like a pie, if you want to ask for, let's say, half a pie, and the pie is 1 feet in diameter, well then, naturally, if you decrease the size of the pie to say, 6 to 8 inches, you're going to need to ask for more of the pie to get the same amount. But if you just want half, you're going to get less. And let's face it, most prices are going off the half measurement rather than the other, because fundamentally the goal is to increase margins of profitability rather than, increase their share in the market. Share in the market helps, but the biggest thing is the margins. It's fine being a small company if your margin is, say, 10% versus a big company at 5%, just because you make more off of what you spend. Now, do companies want more money? Yes. If they can get it by expanding the market, absolutely freaking will. But that's not necessarily what they're interested in. Money first, exact size, not as important. And so, if you reduce the money supply, that'll help with affordability, as will increasing production. So, if you make more, naturally, supply and demand, prices will go down. That is how we reduce prices. Reduce the money supply and increase production. And thus, increasing wages is not really the beneficial action, but raising real wages is. If you just increase prices, or increase the wage, what you're going to see is that people are going to be at the same position, if not worse. Since after all, increasing wages means increasing the money supply, and thus, naturally, increasing prices. And so, what ends up happening is, well, you end up at square one, or even further back. But if wages stagnate and prices go down, your real wage, what you can actually buy, goes up. And that's what you should care about. Who cares if you make less money to buy a house if the house is worth less and thus you can buy it cheaper? Would you really complain, oh, I'm getting paid $10,000 a year if a house was, say, $50,000? Probably not. You'd probably call that a freaking steal. And so, if we understand this, the enemy is inflation, the increase of the money supply, and it decreases affordability. That is why it is the enemy. Real wages are what matters, not net wages. Sorry, not gross wages. What you actually get paid, that is less important as what you can actually buy with it. Sure, big number looks nice on your paycheck. It doesn't matter if you can't afford jack. If we made $100 million, but we could still barely afford basic necessities per person, I am fairly certain we wouldn't say, Ah, yes, all we need now is just to get $110 million. And, see the prices increase from there. No, you'd say, okay, something really needs to get done, and we need to stop this inflation, otherwise we're just going to keep escalating. That's exactly what happened in Zimbabwe. They escalated. Excuse me. Apologies. They kept escalating their inflation rate, and eventually it got so bad they had to basically replace their entire currency and back it with gold in order to have any level of efficiency at keeping inflation down. That is how bad it was. Zimbabwe is doing better on the inflation front, but still not the best, and let's face it, that inflationary period really hurt them. We don't want to be Zimbabwe. We want to go through that path that increases real wages, that decreases prices. That is what we want, and what we should strive to do. I know this is a shorter video, but I got plenty more to make, so I hope that is satisfactory, at least for now. Have a good one.